Hi everyone, my name is Ashley Edelman, and I've decided to do my project on Alcoholics Anonymous because I found the topic to be really interesting, and it helps alcoholics to maintain and achieve sobriety. I hope you guys can hear me because this is like the only camera I have to do this. A brief introduction to Alcoholics Anonymous is that it offers a successful approach to the recovery of alcoholism. It also refers to maintaining sobriety, not just alcohol, but other substances abuse as well. The group encourages others to help each other and follow the 12-step book that Bill Wilson and Dr. Bob Smith created. Alcoholics Anonymous relies on the 12-step book and is also known as the Big Book. A brief history is that it can be traced back to the Oxford group in the 1920s. They would practice a formula to help people admit their wrongs using prayer and meditation, and they would want you to carry the message to others, so kind of spread the word of what you have already learned. Bill Wilson would attend the Oxford group, and he would use this to deal with his own alcoholism. However, the service was only available to the rich. So when Bill Wilson decided to break away from the Oxford group, he would want to carry the knowledge and teachings that he has learned into the structure of creating Alcoholics Anonymous. He would want to apply their similar ideas to form the group. He would then team up with Dr. Bob Smith to create Alcoholics Anonymous. He would create a book based on the teachings from the Oxford group and call his book Alcoholics Anonymous. It's also referred to the Big Book, as what I've said before, that people in AA meetings refer to it as that. The book I read was Bill W., a biography of Alcoholics Anonymous co-founder Bill Wilson by Frances Hartigan. I don't know if I said her last name correctly. Bill Wilson would have his first drink in the Army during World War I, and after that he would regularly start drinking. He had great success on Wall Street, but after the crash, he lost all his money. So this was where his drinking got really heavier, and he would be kind of in a state. In 1934, Wilson was visited by an old drinking buddy who was able to stop drinking and maintain his sobriety. The belief of the religious group was that God could overcome his addiction, but Wilson wasn't really religious. In his hospital room, while Wilson was thinking of thousands of people who are alcoholics, who doesn't have the option to get the treatment that was so freely given to him, he understood that this was a part of his sobriety to help others, and it would be really essential for his recovery. Wilson would take the same concept and develop into Alcoholics Anonymous, minus the religious views, and to use that people can learn from each other to help maintain their sobriety, so they can be a strong support system. The film that I watched was Bill W., and it's a documentary that would tell the story of the co-founder, Bill Wilson. Wilson was able to turn his negative lifestyle and his countless of hurting others and the people around him into a positive method of helping people to maintain their sobriety. He did not do it for the money. He wouldn't really take money from anybody. Wilson didn't want anyone to really profit from this group. He really believed that in order for it to remain anonymous and no person to be identified, he wanted to keep it a secret, so that's why he didn't really want to take any money. Also, AA members were not required to contribute money, and at the time, no contribution over $1,000 was accepted, and this was back in the 1940s. His goal was to help others to overcome this disease. to share his research and knowledge that he has gained from his personal experience and his recovery to the world. He wanted to make a difference, and he felt that there was no resources available to the mass public. It shows the struggles of him trying to get AA to become a success that we all see today because it's so well known. Today there's over 2 million men and women that are accepting help from AA. From my experience, I decided to attend an AA meeting in my local area. I really didn't know what to expect, and what I've learned is the first step to recovery is attending one of these meetings. And there's different types of meetings, like each meeting is not structured exactly the same, but the message that lies in the meetings is the same. For my meeting, the speaker is a member of AA who's had a fair amount of sobriety. The speaker will start by reading a passage, or a thought, or an idea, or just something to get the discussion going, and then he or she would open up the floor to anybody who wants to speak on the topic or speak about like what they're going through, just anything that's really on their mind that they kind of want to share with others. Not everyone really felt the need to share, but to know that they understand there's value in listening. I really enjoyed watching like a group of strangers come together that are trying to overcome this addiction. And I got to hear their struggles and their hardships and what they've lost, either like family, friends, their jobs, the life that they used to have, and them trying to get back on track. They really spoke so openly and everything that they're really experiencing today. You know, if someone is going through something really hard, they can relate to a person or a group, either from what they're experiencing right now or their past experiences. Everyone did not judge each other, and they always maintained an open mind. It was like a safe place to talk as long as you need it within. You can talk as much as you would like. There was like no restriction as long as it's within the time limit. But a lot of people were just sharing about more of the struggles of what they're going through and how they still kind of have that itch to drink, but you know, they come here so they can get the support that they need. From my experience, I was able to meet a woman whose name I can't say because she didn't want people to really know who she was, but she understood it was for school. And I told her that I wasn't going to say her name or anything like that. It's just more like her experience. So she said that she is 1 and 7 months sober. And they never round up until she's like 1 and 8 months sober. Before she can say 2 years, she will never say 2 years because she hasn't reached that point yet. So if people do, it's kind of like frowned upon and kind of like a no-no. She told me the passages that are read are different, the topics change, so like no two meetings will be exactly the same because it's based on what the speaker wants to discuss or how the discussion may go. I asked her about sponsors, and she said that most sponsors stay with the same gender, like men and men and women, because it might cause a conflict. You know, they can relate better to what they're going through from either like a woman's or a men's perspective. They don't want it to be like, you know, stuff happening. She really didn't believe her drinking would affect anyone but herself. And that was like the first statement that she told me when I first interviewed her. She believed that it was only affecting her and it wouldn't affect her husband or her children. She thought of it as just her way of, you know, relaxing. But however, she realized now that she got sober that it did affect her family and her children and her job because she ended up losing that all. Her children, I guess, views her in a different way, and they treat her differently because of the experiences from the drinking. She says it's something that is really hard for her to deal with because she wants things to go back to normal, but her kids are really like standoffish, and they're kind of scared because I guess there hasn't been a lot of time for her to be sober, so they don't know like if she's gonna stay sober or she's gonna go back to drinking, so they kind of stand backish. She really wants like her old life back, but she understands time is what her family needs because they really need to heal. She's not living with her family, but it does tear her apart because she's living back with her mother, but her family is the reason that pushed her into becoming sober, and that's the reason why she wants to maintain her sobriety, because her family is everything to her. So, you know, she basically said you don't know what you have until you've lost it. So, overall, Alcoholics Anonymous has helped millions of people maintain sobriety, not just from alcohol, but other substance abuse. The program can be applied in different ways if someone's dealing with drugs or other types of things. Alcohol can affect not only the person, but the families and children that are involved, because they are suffering too, because that person is in an altered state of mind, so they might do things that they might normally not do. And I'm really glad that there's a program out here that can help people maintain success, and it's a really great support group and system that can help people who might not normally know where to turn to. Wilson was able to turn his negative lifestyle to create a safe place where you can speak your mind and have the support of people into your decision making of sobriety. And it's something that, you know, it's amazing how a group of strangers can really like be supportive and understand what you're going through, and they might not know a lot about your history or your past, you know, your past experiences or anything like that, but it's like you have that common ground where you can help people. And Wilson has taken the most widely abused substance, which is alcohol, in the world. That is the most abused substance because it's so like widely available, and gave people an answer when they've gone too far. They've reached the time where they like, okay, I need help. And with here, he was able to create Alcoholics Anonymous, which is the most widely used program out there to help people maintain and, you know, stay sober. So I thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed my report.